Wow. Uh, game wrapped up like an hour ago. I was in the middle of some stuff, so I couldn't make a video right after. But wow. I said in my pregame video that I thought we were going to win this game, but there was no part of me that was like, "Oh, this is going to be easy. We're so much better than Detroit. I have no doubt in my mind that we're going to win." It was nothing like that. It was just me looking at the two teams and saying, I think there are some things that we can do that will give us an advantage over a 60-minute football game. But I didn't think that we were going to go out there and basically destroy them in all three phases. And that's really what it felt like. I mean, I'm not saying we won by 40 points. Obviously, that's not the case. But if you watch this game, once the second quarter started, there was just no doubt about which team was better. And we were able to replicate our success over and over and over from drive to drive to drive, both on offense and defense, to the point where I really came away from this game thinking we are significantly better than that Lions team. And I think that Lions team is decent. So, yeah, even though I was kind of optimistic going into this game, I wasn't this optimistic. So, yeah, 28 to 14. It was 28 to 7 in the fourth quarter. Detroit got a touchdown that I don't want to call it garbage time, but it was kind of, at the point where it was desperation mode. And really, to me, this was as much of an ass beating as this Seahawks team is capable of doling out to a team like the Lions. So I'm happy. There's really nothing to complain about in a game like this. Wilson was perfect pretty much. He maybe threw like one pass that was kind of questionable, but the quarterback rating is perfect. He kept the ball on those zone reads a couple times and he got positive yards on both. Chris Carson, good game, 100-yard game for Chris. He got in the end zone too. He caught a couple passes. He was productive in that regard too. Mike Davis, not a huge game, but he did his job when he was in there. And basically, we were able to control this game completely on the ground, even though we never had any monstrous plays on the ground, even though we didn't have any 60-yard runs. We were able to just pound the ball all game long. And even though it wasn't an explosive offense, it was an offense that really controlled this game. And David Moore continues to prove he might actually be something special. He might just not be a dude, he might be a little more than that. And with each week that goes by, I find myself thinking more and more, this David Moore guy might be a real NFL wide receiver who gives you more than just some random guy off the street. Ed Dixon had a good game, his first game ever as a Seahawk, and he showed me that he's going to be part of this team going forward. Um, the numbers for these receivers are usually not going to be huge numbers. I get that. Like, Lockett had 2 catches and a touchdown. Baldwin had 2 catches. But when we're playing the kind of football that Pete Carroll wants us to play, it's just not going to happen in terms of monster numbers necessarily. And I'm not saying that's my favorite style of football, but it is the style of football that works for this roster, and it's producing points, and right now it's producing victories. So there's nothing you can say other than things are just working right now. So the offensive line solid. It's never going to be perfect against a good NFL front, or even a half decent NFL front. Like, the one thing you could criticize from this game is short yardage. We had a 3rd and goal at the 1 yard line, didn't pick it up on the ground, went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. We had a 3rd and 1 when we were trying to chew clock at the end of the game and we couldn't pick it up. There were some short yardage problems, but that's the only thing you can be critical of. And, to my eye, Damon Harrison was a big part of the reason why Detroit had some success on those plays. So I get that. I'm not going to kill the guys for that. So yeah, offense basically perfect. I mean, we didn't score 50 points or anything, but the way we played this game, you cannot ask for anything more than what we got. We didn't turn the ball over. We only had the 2 sacks. We were consistent on the ground. We made big plays in the air when we needed to. We picked up 3rd downs. We did it all. And the defense, when this game started and Detroit came out there on their first possession of the game, they picked up a bunch of 3rd downs. They were moving the sticks. We weren't getting pressure on Stafford. The one or two times we did get pressure on Stafford, he moved away from it and still made plays. I was like, okay, I knew this might be coming. I knew that Stafford might beat us up a little bit because our defense, it does have some deficiencies that haven't been exposed because of the quarterbacks we've been playing. But I was like, I knew that a guy like Stafford in this offense could put the hurting on us. And that first drive, culminating in Tedrick Thompson getting his ass kicked. I don't know what the hell he was doing on that play, Tedrick Thompson, getting burned by, I think it was Marvin Jones. I was like, okay, here we go. We're going to need to score 30 points to win. I really thought that. I was like, all the things I was a little concerned about, I'm starting to see. And then we take away a possession from them with the fumble on the kickoff return, and then we get off the field on a third down, and then we get some quarterback pressure. We actually get some sacks. We stuff the run. Kerryon Johnson never got anything going today. And if you watch that game today, Kerryon Johnson's clearly a talented guy, but we just didn't give him the opportunity to ever get anything going on the ground. Most of the stuff he did was through the air, and a lot of that was in garbage time, honestly. So we found a way to get off the field on third down. We forced some turnovers. We took possessions away from Detroit. And at the end of this day, we gave up the 7 points at the start, the 7 points at the end. And somehow, some way, this defense, which is still a defense that has some holes in it, basically took the Detroit offense out of the game completely during those, I would say, 40 minutes in the middle of the game, the second and third quarter. They weren't even threatening to score on most of those drives. And at the end of this game, when Detroit was actually putting up a little bit of a fight trying to get back into it, when they had the opportunity to score a couple times and maybe even force overtime or something, we forced that fumble. Well, we got quarterback pressure and Stafford fumbled for some reason. I don't know why. And we got the ball that, took time off the clock. That took away one of their best opportunities to maybe go drive and score and make the game interesting. Uh, Detroit got a gift with a bogus 60-yard pass interference flag on Bradley McDougald that we are owed one after that one. I'm sorry. I better see some BS PI flags come out in our favor next week or in a future week. Let's just say that and leave it at that. Justin Coleman makes an incredible play at the 1 yard line, picks it off, basically ends the game with that pick. And they just wouldn't let Detroit claw back into this game no matter what. I mean, the offense couldn't close out the game by running the ball, which was a little frustrating. So the defense just said, we're going to find a way to make a couple plays here. We're playing a good quarterback. We're playing a good offense, but we're going to find a way to make enough plays to win. And that's what we got. And at the end of this game, Stafford got his 300, but you can't tell me that this defense can do much better than what they did out there today. The touchdown that Tedrick gave up was bad. Shaquille got kind of beat up a little bit on that second touchdown to Marvin Jones Jr. I don't know what he was doing on that play, but there's not much you can criticize about this team right now. Even the special teams, we forced a fumble. We had the fake punt on fourth down which seems kind of insane, but it worked out. Shout out Michael Dixon. Dixon had a great game punting. Detroit was starting with the ball inside their 10-yard line routinely in this game. And for a guy like me, there's just not much to criticize because this is the team that Pete Carroll wants us to have. And this looks like a team that could actually do something as this season goes on. So I'm happy. All Seahawks fans should be happy. We're 4-3. We're facing some tough quarterbacks coming up, and some good teams. But a game like today can give you a little bit of optimism, and it can give you the opportunity to see how we could win some of those games. So, shout out to Tedrick, by the way, for coming back after giving up that stupid touchdown. He forced a fumble on special teams. He almost made a pick. Deion Jordan, I thought, actually had a pretty good game. It was the first time this year when I really noticed him having a positive impact. Frank Clark, as always, is a monster. He got some pressures. He got a sack. Jerron Reed kind of sort of got involved on that fumble, even though, honestly, Stafford just kind of dropped the ball. And, yeah, I'm happy today. There's not much negative you can come out of this game with. And we're moving on to next week, and we're feeling good. All right, see you guys later. Go Hawks. I'm going to watch these late games and maybe see you tonight on Twitch.